What's up, guys? ChaseOliver68 here, bringing you Q&A number 16. Let's get started with this bad boy. NFL253 asked me, how did you become a wrestling fan and what made you start YouTube? I became a wrestling fan because growing up, I watched soap operas with my grandma a lot. Pretty much, we only had one TV at my grandma's house, so I would watch soap operas, and I was just so intrigued with soap operas. And wrestling, for the most part, is a male soap opera. It is. Like, if you guys deny it, then deny it all you want. But it is a male soap opera. I enjoy professional wrestling for what it was, and when I started watching it more in 2000, I just really fell in love with a lot of the characters, and so I said, you know what, I'm a wrestling fan, and I don't give a fuck if anyone knows. And what made you start YouTube? I started YouTube up because I wanted to do another hobby. I really was bored with some of the hobbies I was doing back then, and I just wanted to do something that was cool and productive, see if anyone would like what I was doing. And so I decided to open up a YouTube channel. Well, I had a YouTube channel for a while. I just never did shit on it because I was too afraid to, show my face and whatnot. It was kind of embarrassing, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to open up a YouTube channel, and I did, and so it turned out pretty well for me, I guess, and I do love doing these videos. Adam Golet asked me a question. If WWE and TNA could trade superstars, name 3 from each show that you think would benefit from going to each show. The 3 superstars I think that would benefit going to TNA, Randy Orton, Brodus Clay, and Tyson Kidd. Randy Orton needs a new scenery. Really, to be honest, he doesn't really fit well in the WWE anymore. He kind of feels awkward watching him. I'm a huge Randy Orton fan, and I'm saying that. He fits awkward in the WWE. When you go down to Tyson Kidd, would be a big boost to X Division. And Brodus Clay, like the thing about TNA to me that I've noticed, they're missing a lot of big monster heels in that company. You're missing a lot of big monsters, and that's the thing. And in wrestling, you need those big monsters. Where when you have a smaller babyface or just a babyface in general, it's like, how can they beat this big, massive force? So, in all honesty, I think Brodus Clay would fit well in TNA, and he would definitely love the refreshing change. For WWE, for the TNA stars going to WWE, Samoa Joe, Robert Roode, and Hernandez. I know a lot of people are going to be upset because I didn't say the greatest man who ever lived, Austin Aries. But in all honesty, Robert Roode fits the WWE mold. He is a WWE wrestler. He would be very successful in the WWE. Samoa Joe, someone, once again, that kind of fits the WWE mold, would bring a different style. We know he can work well with main eventers, and I feel that he would help the main event scene look refreshed. And Hernandez, the reason why I chose Hernandez is because WWE, their Latin market, their Latino superstars are not really that good anymore. Alberto Del Rio is not Eddie Guerrero. His charisma is just really, to be honest, bad. I don't think his charisma is anything great. He's not really doing it for the Latino market. Rey Mysterio's knees are on life support, and Sin Cara, we don't even know what Sin Cara is doing. I think Jamarcus Russell is probably just like hanging out with Sin Cara, saying like, hey man, what's it feel like being a boss? And Sin Cara's like, CSA, oh, it's so good, Holmes. I don't do shit. Make lots of money, yes, vato. So I don't know what Jamarcus Russell and Sin Cara are doing, but just know I think Sin Cara is the biggest bust I've seen in a long time. Fuck you, Mystico. And I used to be a fan of yours and shit, dude. But I think Hernandez would bring some life into the Latino American department. Will Ferrell #1 asked me, did you ever watch The Shield? Nope. I'm just kidding. I did watch The Shield. It was a good show for what it was. I didn't love it like you did. Obviously, you called it the best cop drama ever. But I wasn't really like the greatest fan of The Shield. I'm not talking about the wrestlers, guys. I'm talking about the TV show. If you guys ever watched that, it starred Micah Chiklis, the guy who does the Allstate commercials. So you know what the deep voice, Allstate cares. Are you in your hands or whatever it's called? #2 is Josh Matthews turning heel. What? Where was this developments? If he is, I gotta watch this, guys. I don't know if he is, but if he is, that's hilarious. #3, do you think TNA should focus on younger wrestlers when it comes to the TNA World Heavyweight title push instead of ones we've seen before, like Cena and Jeff Hardy? Problem is, Will Ferrell, is that TNA doesn't really have younger superstars to really push into the main event scene. Most of their younger superstars are still in the X Division, which I agree with because a lot of those guys do belong just for X Division because TNA kind of like fucked up their structure. I mean, back in the days with TNA, this is how their structure worked. The heavyweight division would feature, heavyweights, actual legit heavyweights, and then maybe 1 or 2 X Division guys that really did fit the heavyweight mold, like AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, would come into the heavyweight division and sometimes challenge for the NWA heavyweight title. Then you got your X Division wrestlers, and they were solely X Division. They didn't have, there was no weight limits to the X Division, but you knew they didn't belong there. They didn't belong to the world heavyweight title scene. You didn't want to push them there, so you just kept them in the X Division for a little bit. And then TNA, they had the tag team titles. And the tag team wrestlers, they were eventually going to become either future heavyweight champions or future X Division stars, whichever one you want to put in each division. Thing is, nowadays, we don't really have the divisions. We don't really have, the superstars in the right places. There's not really a lot of young talent. They fucked up because 2008 was the perfect time to push Robert Roode to the world heavyweight title scene, but they never did. So, hey, they're lost in all honesty, but let's move on forward. Final Limits 1 asked me, is it true that the workout supplements are bad for your health, especially if you take it every day? Yes, it is true. Don't take your workout supplements every day. Just work out 3 times a week and it works. What workout supplements do you take? I take a shit ton of workout supplements. I take Pro 5, Pro 7, Vasicor, Insane, and all the other stuff. So go look them up online if you want to know. And also, it all depends on your body type, man. Like, if I tell you what I'm taking, it might not even work for your body type. You got to look up your own body type and see what, there's websites where you can look up your body type and see what supplements you should be taking. Because my supplements are for my body type. You might have a different body type than I do. So, just giving you a heads up there. What are your least favorite GTA San Andreas levels? Fuck the country. The country is just too confusing. I mean, it's a nice little scenery. I like it, but it's like when you get there in the game, like after you get there you're in Los Santos, a nice fun city. There's a lot of shit to do, and then afterward you go to the country, and it's just like, oh my god, I just want to get to San Fierro already. Like, you just want to get to San Fierro already, but I just hate the country in all honesty. Thank you for the questions. BB Elowski asked me, hey Chase Oliver, I was wondering, with Connecticut being WWE's home state, what can be done to have another PPV or WrestleMania in the state? I don't know, sign a petition. Get a petition going, see if a lot of people in Connecticut and near that New England territory area will want to sign the petition to get a pay-per-view in Connecticut. That's all I could really say for you guys. Just know, dude, I'm not trying to be mean to Connecticut, but for us in the U.S. eyes and the WWE's eyes, Connecticut is not a place where they want to be to hype up a pay-per-view or WrestleMania. They want to go places like Texas, California, Florida, and New York, New Jersey areas where you can hype up a pay-per-view and you know you're going to look good if you sell out that crowd. Because if you sell it, or like even Louisiana, like at the Superdome, New Orleans, like, you know it looks bad when it's just like, oh, we sold out in Connecticut compared to, oh, we sold out here in California, It doesn't matter that size of the arena. It matters about the size of the state. And WWE likes to think big, and they know that most of the people in America know that Connecticut's a small state, and we're not going to take that shit seriously that you sold out Connecticut. Like, really? Come on. That's all I'm saying. It's no disrespect to Connecticut. It's just how people think nowadays, and it's kind of sad. Clarkson440 asks, if you got 3 wishes from a genie, what would your 3 wishes be? My first wish would to be able to feed all the African children. And the reason is, I do feel bad for those children because they don't have food. But also, I'm sick and tired on Facebook, always going on Facebook. I get a notification. I think it's one of my friends wanting to talk to me or something. No, it's just like, come help feed my African child. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of seeing those every single day. So you know what? I'll send a big-ass food for them to last forever. Number 2 would change the interior of my car. The interior of my car is disgusting, and I want to change that shit fast. And number 3, my number 3 thing I would probably want to do, in all honesty, get any job I want. Instead of asking for money, I want to earn my money. And plus, if I can get any job I want, I can work like for fucking Amgen or WWE or ESPN or anywhere. Basically, hell, I can be on the NFL, be a head coach. It doesn't matter if I suck. I can get any job I want. I can just talk my way through any system. So, hey, let's do that. I'll make money anyway. Clarkson440 asked also, who was the better in-ring performer, Vince McMahon or Shane McMahon? Vince was the better storyteller. Shane was the better worker. Better in-ring performer, I should say. Do you think Vince McMahon should have not continued over the Edge 1999 after Owen Hart died? Yeah, he should have not continued it, obviously, because there's a lot of big storyline developments that happened in that at that time, but it didn't even matter because it was just like, it honestly didn't even matter. So that's all I gotta say. What does whey protein does to help you build muscle, and is it bad for you? Whey protein, like all protein, is bad for you. Whey protein, though, it helps build lean muscles. So like I said to Final Limits, check your bodies. Find out what type of body you have. If you want to message me what type of body you have, I can tell you what protein supplements you need to take. And what you really need to do to build muscle. What if Taker stayed in WCW and Cena was the one to debut in the WWE Survivor Series 1990 with the Undertaker Deadman gimmick? How would history of wrestling be like today? And they changed Steen's name to Undertaker, and Taker just stayed in WCW. Taker would not succeed in WCW because his gimmick was fucking terrible, and Steen would be a terrible Undertaker. I'm sorry, Steen would not play the Undertaker gimmick justice. I don't think Steen would work well with the Undertaker gimmick. I know people like to compare Crow Steen and Dead and Ministry Undertaker a lot, but I don't think Steen would have pulled off that Undertaker gimmick as well as Undertaker did. Steen would also probably have to lose his space paint, and I don't think Steen would want to lose the space paint. And all honesty here, I'm being dead honest here when I say this. I really do feel that we would not get the same Undertaker that we see today, and I feel we would be missing the streak altogether. What if HHH went back to the blue blood snob gimmick today? I think it would work successful, because look at Damien Sandow. Isn't he like the blue blood snob gimmick today? Hey, it would work successful for Damien Sandow. John Kunkt asked me, what if Triple H made his debut in WCW with the ring name of HHH and the Cerebral Assassin gimmick? He would be successful. I think that he would be a big baby face for the company. I don't think he would get the Austin treatment. I don't think he would be like the badass assery and the level of people wanting to watch him like the Stone Cold Steve Austin level. But I think he would work well for WCW, be a good baby face, but WCW would ultimately still fall. The thing is, Stone Cold Steve Austin, I mean, when you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, dude is a redneck. And what do most people, you know, casual people in the world, when they think of wrestling, they think of rednecks. Stone Cold represented blue-collar worker at best. He represented that very, very well. Triple H, he wouldn't really represent it that well. Yeah, he would be a badass, but it wasn't like, you know, oh my God, he's Stone Cold Steve Austin badass. So he would be successful, but WCW would not benefit very, very well from the Triple H Cerebral Assassin gimmick. His next question is, what if John Cena was around in the 80s with the same gimmick he has now? Would he, along with Hogan, be a face of the company back then if he had Super Cena gimmick and that he has now with the same clothes and theme song? Yeah, I think Cena would be very successful with the gimmick that he has now. In the 80s, I mean, he would at least win one WWF championship. He wouldn't have 13. He would at least win one WWF championship. I think the kids would love him and the women would love him. I mean, he would still be very successful in the company. He wouldn't be the main star of the company, but maybe if there was a point when Hogan left, they would have John Cena already ready and made. He's not going to be like the Ultimate Warrior and fuck off on you. He would still be there because, you know, Cena wouldn't have anything else to do. I don't think he would be getting a lot of movie offers. So Cena would be the main guy. And slowly progressing, when we go to 95 and 96, you know, wrestling would still suck because, like, you know, Cena would be the main guy, and it's kind of like the PG era. So it's almost like when we go from the 80s, we get the PG era again. That's basically how I see it. But he would be pretty successful in the 80s, like, very big. Have you ever met CM Punk in real life? And so, how was your experience meeting him? I met CM Punk in real life. He's pretty tight. It was at an autograph signing when he had like long hair and he was on ECW. It was pretty cool. He wasn't rude to me. I mean, I remember I just shook his hand and I said, "Hey, you're one of my favorite wrestlers." He's like, "Thanks, man." And then later on, he's like, "Who do I sign this to?" And I said, "Sign it to Chase." And he's like, "All right, Chase, you have a good night." I'm like, "You too, Punk." And like, I just left. He was really nice to me. So I didn't have a bad experience with him. If you had a bad experience with the wrestler, comment down below. And if you guys want to ask what my bad experience with the wrestler is, I'll tell you, because this made me cry one day. Like, it was kind of upsetting. But Real Spider-Man the War fan asked me, what MMA/UFC fighters of present do you think could be good professional wrestlers if they left the UFC? Chael Sonnen. That's the only answer I could give you. Thoughts on Anderson Silva versus Mike Tyson in his prime in the fight? Who would win? Depends on what type of fighter you're talking about. A boxing match, Mike Tyson would win. If it's an MMA fight, Anderson Silva has a chance. What did you think of these Think of these Anderson Silva, Minotaur Nogueira, Bigfoot, Junior Dos Santos, and other fighters from a country of Brazil. I mean, it's good. Brazil's legit. They have great fighters. What else am I supposed to think about them? They're really, really excellent fighters, and they're doing a really, really good job. So, hey, more power to them. They're doing a great job. Move on forward to the next question from 12 Good Little Society. What is your opinion about WWE and or TNA making a real-life situation to storylines such as the love triangles between Matt Hardy and Edge and Lita, and Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle, and Karen Jarrett? Really, to be honest, it's good shit. That's like realism TV. That's stuff that happens in real life most of the time. It's real TV that you can get into and personally relate to. That is stuff that you can personally ultimately say, hey, I relate to that. That's happening in my life right now. It may not happen in your life, but someone out there, you guys got to think, in this world right now, as I'm filming this video, someone could be going through that love triangle situation right now. Someone could be giving birth right now, at this very instance, right now, to another man's child. Just think about that sometimes. Just think about like what's going on in someone else's life as you are living yours right now. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, but I like it because it's real life. It's realism. And I'm getting a phone call from my aunt, but she can wait. For this final question, do you think WWE should get rid of the Divas division and bring back the Cruiserweight division because nobody cares about the Divas anymore and the Cruiserweights were exciting for everybody to watch? I say keep the Divas division. I don't say you get rid of it, but I do agree bring back the Cruiserweight division just because there's a lot of guys that I think that could benefit very well from this Cruiserweight division and be featured very well. But my problem is when you bring back the Cruiserweight division and these guys start getting Cruiserweight titles, a lot of the people on the internet are going to be like, push this motherfucker to the moon! So, I don't know. You know, Cruiserweight division is a hit or miss type of thing, but I would be down for the Cruiserweight division coming back. But anyways, guys, that's it for the questions. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go check out my Raw review from last night if you haven't seen it yet. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Remember, you can send your questions via inbox or Twitter. Subscribe by clicking the little icon down below, right here or down below. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Chase and Alan Talks will be coming back tomorrow or Thursday, whenever I get time to editing it. But just know it's coming back. See you all later. Have a good day. Peace!